Hey yo, what up? Bendición. So, I decided to break down the video into two parts. I'm just going to continue on. If you have not seen part one of this little Iyawos topic, check out part one. So it gives more context to part two. But I wanted to continue on with what are the ways of addressing a Iyawos if you see one being in the streets, on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Is there a right way? What if you see a Iyawos doing something that they quote unquote shouldn't be doing? Well, there are ways of addressing one's concerns to a Iyawos. And again, I'm gonna preface this with the same damn thing. Everything gets run by your elders with your godparents, so no one can say that I'm just El Conquistador going off the handles, talking a bunch of BS, or how disrespectful El Conquistador is being. If you're watching the full videos, you're getting the full context, because this is gonna ruffle feathers either way. Either way, that's just, I don't know. So ways of addressing a Iyawos: just do so respectfully, and importantly, most importantly, do so privately. Why privately? Not because it's a secret, because anyone's trying to hide anything, but because you do not know the circumstances nor the occupation of said Iyawos. So it's important to get the full picture before making assumptions as to that Iyawos or this Iyawos is, deserves a multa, deserves a, I don't know how you would say multa. My platform is in English. How would you say multa? Being reprimanded, I guess you would say. You do not know the circumstances, the occupation of the Iyawos, the circumstances surrounding that Iyawos, nor the licencias that particular Iyawos has already received from their godparent. So it's important to not jump the gun. Why is this Iyawos wearing black? Because he's getting ready for work. Why is this Iyawos on camera? Well, because that's supplementing their income, because you're not going to pay their bills. Why is this Iyawos swimming in the ocean? Because they're doing research on the sea moss that's underneath the water. Why is that Iyawos at the club? Because they get paid to be a promoter and they're obligated to be at the particular venue. So in general, like I said in the last video, there are in general exceptions to many, if not most, rules of being a Iyawos, simply because we live in different times where we have phones. Oh, the Iyawos should not be doing, screen, get a call, can't be FaceTiming. Well, if a person, now we're living in COVID, where doctor's appointments are being done through the phone, where students, if you got a student crowned, well, they're gonna be, school was from, a screen, so there are exceptions. If you're a coroner before getting crowned, so-and-so in your ita, as a Iyawos, you can't be around death. And even here it says that so-and-so took away being around death, you can't be around death. Well, I totally get it, that's a discussion between you and your godparent, but you were a coroner before getting crowned. Or I've definitely heard, I think we've all heard the case where a person's a cop, they get crowned, and then their crown or whoever takes away weapons from them. Oh, they can't have a gun because they have a temper, so they can't have weapons. Well, are you gonna throw away your 20-year police career because in your ita it said you can't carry weapons? Again, conversations for your godparent. These are legitimate concerns that people have and should have, but there are ways to go about addressing a Iyawos before jumping the gun. before making such a scandal about it, because you do not know that Iyawos circumstances, finances, occupation, or the licencias that have already been spoken about behind the scenes. So before there's any bochinchando, get to understand the full picture, and do so respectfully, do so privately. If you're so curious, ask the person, ask the Iyawo, and the Iyawo would either answer the question or say, those questions are to be directed to my godparent. That's it. That's it. But just, before passing judgment, that's it, because like I said, it boils down to, you have the Iyawo and the godparent relationship. As long as that's foundational, that's what matters. There's a difference between, calling someone out because it really needs to be called out, because there's a lot of stuff that needs to be called out. There's a whole lot of sancochos that should be called out. But little things, when you don't understand the full story, because you didn't take out the time to understand the person's occupation or backstory of why they are doing what they're doing. Why is that Iyawo looking at mirrors? Because they need to look at mirrors to do their occupation. Why is that Iyawo on camera? Because they need to be on camera to get their occupation because I can't beat it into the ground hard enough. You are not paying anybody else's bills. I'm not paying anybody else's bills. I got to rely on myself to pay my own bills. And the same way with you. We all got to eat. We're all trying to get by. Nobody's rich here, okay? So unless you plan on paying someone's bills, then let whatever quarrels between a Iyawo and a godparent, let them figure it out and leave it alone. There's no need to make a scandal out of everything, okay? So last point. So the last point I want to make is, if we're being honest, and I'll speak for myself, I'll just speak for myself, if I'm being honest, because someone's gonna take this and perverse it and twist it. I already see it coming. It's fine, because I know who I am. So if I'm being honest, as beautiful as the Ocha tradition is, because Maferefun Ocha, Maferefun Egun, Maferefun Obatala, and all the Orisha, as beautiful as the Ocha tradition is, Lukumi is, the actual Ocha community is full of many, not all, I'm not saying all, but as beautiful as the Ocha tradition is, the actual Ocha community is full of many deplorable, shameless, jealous bonchincheros and bonchincheras and opportunists who get off on tearing down others, on discouraging others, on muting another person's voice, on snuffing out someone else's light, because seeing someone else's success and progress puts a mirror onto them and reflects back onto them their own inadequacies, their own lack of confidence, their own lack of identity, their own lack of inner purpose of their own life. All of this under the guise of upholding the tradition. You ask any Santero, they will say the same. Because I know there's people who's in there who's already clicking, you're texting somebody. But for those that know what the hell I'm talking about, I'm getting a bunch of these right now. Yes, someone said it. Yes. And I will say it again just so it sinks in, okay? I will say it again. As beautiful as the Ocha of the Ocha tradition is, The actual Ocha community is full of many deplorable, shameless, jealous gossipers who are an opportunist, who get off on tearing down others, discouraging others, muting others, and snuffing out other people's light. The beautiful light that a lot of people walk with when they come into this faith, and then it fades away after meeting people and actually getting to know these santeros that have been looked up to for so long. And when you get on the inner circle, you realize that a lot of the people are just straight, you know what I want to say. And it has nothing to do with the person's knowledge. I always say what a person has in here doesn't have to do anything that has to do in here, because there are a lot of knowledgeable, beautifully gifted and knowledgeable santeros. But what you have in here don't got to do with what you got in here, because there are a lot of people, elders and mayores and alagbas, that have incredible knowledge, but have taken advantage of a lot of people that have done horrible things in the name of and hid behind the guise of religion, hid behind the guise of tradition. People that tear down others and discourage others and try to mute others and defame someone else and blaspheme someone's character when it's unwarranted. It's just jealousy, and that other person's success and progress is holding up a mirror right to their face and reminding them about their own inadequacies, about their lack of purpose, about their lack of identity, about their lack of direction and purpose, and how miserable, sad and miserable soul that they are. All this under the guise of upholding the tradition. And if this statement offends you, then maybe this is that mirror. And if it doesn't, well, then I know that there's a lot of people applauding me for saying what I'm saying, because I don't think I'm saying anything wrong. Like always, go to your elders. But it's no secret, you know, the cat's out of the bag. There are a lot of shiesty bonchincheros and people that literally go out of their way seeking the destruction of others because they have nothing else better to do with their time. So I'm gonna end it on this. As all you guys can see, if you haven't seen my first part, check out the first part. As you guys can see, I'm speaking very passionately about this topic because I have an emotional stake in what I'm talking about. But you know, the Iyawos that inspired this video happens to be my girlfriend. So as Iyawos, there's things that she can't say because she's Iyawos. So on behalf of her, and behalf of myself, El Conquistador, because remember there's only one, I leave you guys with this. To everyone who loves us and supports us, to all of our elders, to all of our mayores, to our madrinas, and padrinos, and everyone of friends and family who support us. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone who's reached out over this little scandal. Thank you. Thank you for the love and support that you have shown. To everyone else, I leave you with this.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers Let's say that's the bad guy. So, what'll that make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide. How to lie. Me, I don't have that problem.